Today, on Be Something Wonderful, the effortless way to manifest, Neville Goddard's forgotten law. I am your host, Tom Kearin, and these are the studios of Be Something Wonderful, where we help you level up and become the best version of yourself. Creators, good morning, and welcome back to the studios of Be Something Wonderful. The question came up, as it does from time to time, what is the fastest and easiest way to manifest everything you want and desire? And we've talked about this in many different ways, but I want to start here, that the fastest and easiest way to manifest anything you desire is to resist nothing. Hear this. The path to everything you want and desire, whether it's money, love, health, healing, success, improved or different physical appearance, or peace of mind, whatever it is, the path to all of it is to resist nothing. The spiritual great Neville Goddard referred to this as the effortless way, or the principle of least action, or it's also known as the law of least effort. Bashar, the non-physical channeled by Darryl Anka, points to this idea, saying the greatest power requires the gentlest touch. Why is that? Because you are that power. You are not just powerful, you are all the power there is. You are all that is. Wow, that's powerful. This is what Alan Watts called the backwards law. When you try to stay on the surface of the water, you sink. But when you try to sink, you float. In other words, the more you try and effort, the less fulfilled you are. Do you see that? The more you try to be worthy, the more you create that feeling or that idea that you're unworthy. Abraham Hicks often refers to this as following the path of least resistance, to resist nothing. Because it's natural, it's your nature to manifest and create everything you want and desire. It's your nature to live the life of your dreams. It's natural. Any trying and effort pushes against that idea and creates the experience of non-fulfillment, of lack. You're already an absolutely fulfilled being. You are all the power there is. You are all that is. And so you are just experiencing yourself as that fulfillment. It's not a path to fulfillment. It's a path of fulfillment, of knowing yourself as source, of knowing yourself as all that is. Vadim Zeland, in his book, Reality Transurfing, points to this idea as well. The struggle to be worthy and the struggle to be fulfilled. He says this: you can spend your whole life battling to prove your worth. And yet the moment you let go of the battle, you acquire it. Wow. Let go of the need to prove anything to yourself or others and just accept it as a fundamental truth. Wow. Very powerful. Right? You could spend your whole life battling to prove, to be fulfilled, to be happy, to be content, to be secure. And yet the moment you let go of that battle, that trying and that struggle, you acquire all of it. Let go of the need to prove any of it to yourself or others and just accept it as a fundamental truth of being all that is, all that you are. Wow. In other words, in the moment you resist nothing and just assume, what Neville Goddard would call a mere assumption, right? The law of assumption, that you already are that which you desire to be. In that moment, just accept it as a fundamental truth of being who you are. You become it. It's law. In that moment, A mere assumption that you let go of all that trying and struggling, you become it, you are it, you're there, you're fulfilled. Everything you want, desire unfolds from within you as a physical experience. Neville Goddard gives us a secret. Remember, Neville Goddard said in effort is fatal, right? In this idea of creating your desired life, effort is fatal. Your journey from one state of consciousness to another, I love this, is a psychological one. You must employ the psychological equivalent of least action, mere assumption. Wow. A mere assumption is the least action. Neville elaborates, saying it works by means of attention minus effort, awareness minus effort, just being minus effort. There's no doing, it's being. I've often said that being is the new doing. In other words, your own awareness of already being that which you desire to be, already having that which you desire to have. It's attention minus effort. Wow. Very clear here. A mere assumption, Neville Goddard calls it. Neville Goddard continues, because creation is finished, what you desire already exists. He says it is excluded from view, from your view, because you can see only the contents of your own consciousness. Wow. You're only ever manifesting and experiencing the contents of your own consciousness, your own experience as all that is. You exist as all that is. Look at you as this multidimensional infinite being. All your lives, past, present, and future, are happening right now. You as that superimposed, powerful physical perspective, or viewpoint, or vantage point of source, creating or framing an experience, a unique experience as all that is, that manifests into this physical experience that we call the 3D reality. But that's 0.00001% of reality. Only 0.00001% is seen or physical of all that you are. You exist as all that is, as all possible or potential versions of you and experiences of reality. But you manifest an experience at any one moment. Only who and what you're conscious and aware of being. Wow. In other words, as Neville said, the contents of your own consciousness. Whew. Here's what Neville says. It is the function of an assumption to call back the excluded view. Wow. And restore full vision. It is not the world, but your assumptions that change. Very powerful. Neville continues, an assumption brings the invisible into sight. Yeah, that it brings that 99.99999% of unseen into sight. In other words, that 0.00001% physical is always changing in every moment. What's it changing into? Who and what you're conscious of being, where your attention is, what you give time, space, and attention is your reality, is your experience. That's powerful. And remember, he also says this, what you see when you look at something depends not so much on what is there, because that's always changing. That's always changing. This is always changing as you look, as you're conscious and aware of who you are in every moment. So what you see when you look at something depends not so much on what is there as on the assumption you make when you look or while you're looking. Wow. He says it's an assumptive world. So it's not, there's nothing there that's permanent. Your assumptions while you're looking that create all of it. It's changing in every moment. Effort and struggle point your awareness or your attention in the opposite direction of everything you want and desire to be and have. It makes no sense. Waiting and complaining and wondering makes no sense. It points you in the direction, in the opposite direction of everything that you want and desire. It's a mere assumption. A mere assumption as all that is. I am that I am is all that is ever needed. That's the effortless way to manifest. That's Neville Goddard's forgotten law. I am your host, Tom Kearin, and these are the studios of Be Something Wonderful, where we help you level up and become the best version of yourself. Creators, join us on the Tom Kearin channel, our other YouTube channel. We have a big video we're going to release there. And in June, we're going to have our 6th live event of the year and our 30th live event or live stream on the Be Something Wonderful membership channel. That announcement will be coming out on this community board and the community board on the Be Something Wonderful channel. Creators with great love, with great light and infinite gratitude. Until next time, we'll see you soon.